Great. Hi, Badrun. So the first question is, Court Square in Long Island City has seen significant residential development with thousands of new residents moving in. Although the city has tried to balance the unplanned residential development by promising the Queens Public Library to reopen their closed branch that they had closed and budgeting money for the new elementary school in the area, there really hasn't been any real progress or updates from the SCA on the new school or reopening the library branch. So, as a council member that represents the neighborhood, what concrete steps can you do to prevent these scenarios from occurring in the future? And now that we're in the current situation, what concrete steps can we do to ensure the city actually delivers its promise for the new school and to reopen the library branch?
Well, first of all, my name is Badrun Khan again. I'm running from District 26. Thank you, Frank, for inviting me to this thing. If you see my website, I'm very big in education. Education is one of my big platforms, special eds, and making sure school is a process that needs to be done quickly. So if you know the neighborhood, we don't have enough schools. I'm sure you know, everywhere, just not Court Square. It's Long Island City, if it's Woodside, some kids go to school in trailers. Have you seen those? So one is I want to budget more funding to create more schools. And when we allocate the budget should be allocated to reopen schools, reopen the constructions of schools, because as you know, the education of what's happening the year, a lot of students are falling back. I'm sure you guys all agree with me. And the learning disability kids are kind of backwards right now because some people don't even know how to use the online portal. They don't understand how to learn because they already have difficulty learning. So as a councilwoman, if I win, with God's grace, I want to make sure that all the budget that we could fund to after schools and open more schools. And I know Court Square has a lot of schools that we see it go through, but it's stuck somewhere. And with the pandemic, I know we didn't have construction. So as soon as we're open, that's the first thing we want to do, make sure we're back in the route of making sure these schools, the constructions are happening, the allocation of funding happening. I said in my last, when we do take money from NYPD, we want to budget it to schools. That's one of my biggest, and I do agree, it's like demilitarizing and then taking that funds to allocate it to schools.
Great, thank you. So the next question is, District 26 is made up of diverse neighborhoods, right? So, typically unfortunately, it's pretty segregated. Today families in one neighborhood could live, work, eat, and send their kids to different schools than other families in the district. Since these communities sometimes don't intersect, you end up with perspectives from one neighborhood describing Long Island City as filled with ghost towers and nobody living there. And then another perspective describes LIC as overcrowded with a lack of school seats and public green space and sewage, right? So as the elected official representing the overall district, how do you reconcile these perspectives and different communities to ensure better connectivity, but also overall representation for the district?
Well, I also agree. Long Island City is big and people's like big buildings and people can get there. You know what I have also noticed when you do any kind of allocations of any type of funds, grants, and it's always, I see like the neighborhoods that actually not getting all the funding is Queensbridge, Ravenwoods, and it's always, the funding is always allocated by zip code, which I think is not fair. We need to allocate throughout the board and make sure some kids could, if you go, I don't know how should I say it, but this is something that I've noticed. When you apply as a teacher, you go to Long Island and some of the better teachers are allocated different places. But I think when you put teachers and when you put students, you should do a little mixing of stuff. Some people don't want to go in my neighborhood. Like I have some students, they don't want to go to the school in my neighborhood. They want to go to another neighborhood, but they don't get that chance because they think the other school neighborhoods. We need to make sure that every teacher that is sent to every school, that needs to change, even the residential area. But you have to understand Long Island City it's not affordable. I don't know if you agree with me. Like a family of four cannot afford something in Long Island City. Because if they pay rent $2,000 to $2,600 to $3,000, how are they going to eat? And as I said, affordable housing is not affordable. I want to make it unique that if I want to live in Long Island City, I can make it live in it. I want to make it affordable. And it's just not people who has high jobs could live there, kids could go there. I think we need to mix of culture. We need to diverse the group a lot. Diversity is not happening. Woodside is a section of its own. Sunnyside is a section of its own. But one thing I have to say about Sunnyside and Woodside, they're intermingling right now. But Long Island City and Astoria, if you go to 29th Street, the buildings are like, the houses are like $1.3 million. You go to Queensbridge, it's like the areas are not cleaned. And if you go to Long Island City, it's beautiful, right? So we need to mix the diversity. We need to do block parties. We need to get people from other neighborhood, and we need to have neighborhood work with other neighborhoods, which I do. That's what we're trying to do.
Oh, no, that's perfect. Thank you. So just two more questions. When Core Square was first envisioned, it was meant to be a commercial area, an extension of Midtown East. However, a lot of the developments end up being large residential high rises, as we now know. Today, Court Square is being positioned as more a mixed use neighborhood with some significant commercial development, like a new building, Jack's, which has a lot of office space. Yeah. So what are your perspectives on diversifying the business mixes for commercial businesses, right? Specifically in Court Square, and then if applicable, with what government policy, tools, or incentives or otherwise?
Well, first of all, we need more. I don't want big business. I want small businesses. That's important. I don't think if you go to Long Island, say you have this big office spaces, but we need to make sure these spaces involve small businesses, small grocery store, cafe store, but affordable, which I don't think Long Island City, I mean, there's small ones opening right now, but I think with COVID, one of my biggest platform is there's a lot of small business that shut down or can't afford it. And I want to give like a grant so they could start up these small spaces. So any kind of development that's happening, which I'm not big in big developments, I don't agree with that. I think Long Island City has enough. And if you go to July 4th, it's just like everywhere. But I think the funding of small businesses needs to be there. We need to make sure any development comes in, we need to do storefronts so we can get more involved as not only residential, but not big corporation comes in. We need restaurants, we need like dance studios, we need hair salons. But we want to make it that you and me and the local community could walk there and not pay arm and a leg to eat or to get a haircut. So I want to do more funding for small businesses in that neighborhood.
Perfect. And I guess the last question, this is a question I know that you were asked in March. The question is really, who will your number 2 ranked choice vote be within the city council? I know in March you had mentioned Julie Wong. I don't know if that's changed or if it would be the same answer. The bonus question would be, who would be your ranked choice vote for the next mayor of New York?
Oh my God, that's a tough one. Okay, so I have to say District 26, I do have, as you know, the South Asian community is big, right? It's pretty big in Astoria, Long Island City, Woodside. A lot of people has been calling me, Badrun, who is supposed to give number 2 and 3. I would say there are a couple of people I really enjoy working with. Stephen Rogg is amazing. Julia Wong is amazing also. I don't want to rank everybody right now. I think people mostly know how we work with all together. As you see, we do a lot of fund drives in Astoria. Astoria Society does a lot of things, and we all work together. So those are the 2 people I think that are very positive. And you know what I like about them is they actually come up to me, we speak. We actually had 2 events together, both of us, and they give me the respect as a candidate. And there are other ones, but at this moment, I want to say the 2 about them. 2 or 3 is not the question. The question is how we work together. So I'd say to all this 15 people who's running is if we have a relation who we don't know who's going to win. So whoever wins will be my city council. And I think respecting everyone is something everybody should do.
Any comments for your ranked choice vote for the next mayor of New York? Or
you know what? That's a tough one right now. So we're all in a hanging position right now. We're not sure which way to go because I did have a choice, everyone. I haven't changed my choices. I don't want to say because we do as a community, we actually kind of vote in clash of people. So basically we would go like family, friends, Sunnyside, we're going to see who we're going to vote for. We want to just see what's happening. As you know, with the Palestine issues, has become very vibrant in the community. Everybody's talking about it with the war that's happening right now in Middle East. We just want to make sure whoever we vote for would be fair to everyone, because we don't believe in violence, we believe in peace, and everybody's dying right now, what's happening. So I want to hold on to that one.
No worries. Thank you so much.